Hey, what's up everyone? We have breaking news from Sony coming out today, and that is the announcement of the new RX100 Mark VI. So a lot of people have been waiting for the Mark VI to see what they could improve. Did they add a mic jack? Did they improve the record time of the 4K video? What would they do to something like this pocketable travel camera? Well, let's talk about something that they touted as the all you ever need camera. So we're going to be seeing this camera in early July, and it's going to be $1,200 US, 1,600 Canadian. So you're getting a little bit of a substantial increase in price for a lot of what you're seeing here. And really, it comes down to just a couple things. It comes down to a longer lens that's pretty fast for what it is, and essentially an improved AF system and a couple video features. So that's really the bulk of what you're getting. And to answer what I said in the intro, they didn't really disclose yet the 4K recording time, which you were stuck at 10 minutes and the camera would overheat. I'm sure it's improved, but once that is updated, I will link that down below in a pinned post in the comments. And there is still no mic input. If I'm wrong, once again, I'll update that down there, but there was no mic input. And that is something that, like the Canon M line that came out, the M5, the M6, they at least have something so that you can use it, and that's still one flaw. A lot of vloggers and everyone who use these RX100 cameras really want it with the Mark V, and you still don't have it with the 6. That being said, I want to cover one of the biggest things, and that is the lens that is on this bad boy right here. And essentially, you have two combined lenses in one. It's a 24 to 200 millimeter f2.8 to f4.5, and they say it's like having a 24 to 70 and 70 to 200 lens in a very compact camera, well, in which it does. Through the presentations they're using, of course, it looks great. You really want to see it in the real world, and I'll do my best to get a hands-on. Let me know if you want to see me review it and give it like a real world test on the streets or something like that. I'd really want to do that. The video is improved. They're actually adding a couple things. You're going to have 4K. You're going to have 4K HDR. They're even adding HLG, which is the hybrid log, which you get a very versatile range to work with. S-Log 3, you're going to do 120 frames per second, full 1080, even proxy recording. You're getting a lot in this bad boy right here. You're also getting 4K video with a full pixel readout and no binning. So for a little camera like this, Sony does a lot of great things, pretty much some of the top things with 4K video, and that looks like it's going to be the case with this as well. And I said it's going to be a faster camera because that's one of the things that they're proven. And they're going to have 24 frames per second with full AF tracking. And they have basically they said, doubly improved their IAF. So when you're moving around, it easily tracks. And they were doing the hard test. It wasn't just side to side. They were doing coming to the camera and coming from the camera too, which is the hardest thing that an AF system can track. And that's why Canon does a very good job. But Sony is always pretty much closely second, and Panasonic's not too far away, so they offer that as well. In regards to the size, it looks pretty much and is basically identical to the RX100 Mark V, pretty much the same battery, so you're not going to get really an improvement in life in regards to that. If anything, you probably get a little less because of everything that's going into it, but you do get the same flip-up screen, the same little touchscreen flip-up screen, so you're not getting it fully articulated. It does go up and it does go down, so I didn't expect them to change that. That's really drastic to change a body style, so just keep that in mind. But they were talking about the features and how easy it is, and just a little thing so that way you can press down on the EVF up top, or it'll come up on its own. You don't have to like pull it out in like the 100. I think you did it in the Mark IV as well. And it's just about making the features better to the user. It is essentially what they were saying, you know, with this type of camera. And you're getting a 20 megapixel 1-inch sensor with an upgraded Bion Z imaging processor. So it's pretty much, it's what you expect. But the one thing they didn't really talk about, but I found in the press release, was something they're saying they're using an anti-distortion shutter, which basically uses a max shutter speed to reduce rolling shutter when you're, you know, panning very fast or moving around. You don't see that jelloing effect as you're going around. Sony's been known to have that. All of these cameras do. They're not cinema cameras. You know, if you ever want something that's a true cinema camera, you go out and buy one. But the fact that you can do these, it's just funny that people complain about the rolling shutter. It's going to happen no matter what. This is still going to have it no matter what. Just go from there. So really, to wrap it up, I don't want to go too much. This is going to cost $1,200 once again, shipping in July. And the RX100 line is great. I own the Mark V for a couple months. I returned that. I'll leave that review video down below. It just wasn't what I needed, and I paid like $1,000 for that, and I just wanted something more. But don't get me wrong, the image quality that you get from it is great. It suffered a little bit more than I like, especially with some chromatic aberration when I was really just outside doing real world stuff. But is it worth it for probably most people? Maybe, but it just depends. But now you're paying $1,200 for something like this. That being said, it's a great walk around camera. Wish it had a mic input like this M6 does right here. I have an external mic into that. So I know that's going to annoy a lot of people. But if you're a vlogger, they created this little grip for it. So they're thinking about you as well. Is this valid for $1,200? Is this big enough of an upgrade? Well, let's find out. Once again, any updates about the 4K video, I'll leave that down in the pinned post below. And we could go from there. What are your thoughts on the Sony RX100 VI?